car is powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine, which produces 310 horsepower and 380 Newton meters of torque. It does 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.6 seconds with launch control, and we go on to a limited top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. As you can see, my car is finished in Sepang Blue, which is a unique color to the S model in the TT range. And it also comes with the Audi Sport 19-inch blade design wheels finished in silver. However, by far the most important exterior option that this car has are the Matrix LED headlights. Now, the main feature of the Matrix headlights is that in low visibility conditions the car will automatically activate the high beam and turn off individual bits of it so that it won't blind the other drivers. However, the secondary feature is that you get the most badass front and rear indicators in the world. Inside, my car has the grey Alcantara and leather interior with diamond stitched seats and contrasting silver stitches on the doors and on the gear selector. The real party piece of this car though is the new virtual cockpit, which was introduced on the Audi TT. It's basically a 12-inch configurable display which has all the information you need. You have your car information, music, telephone and navigation all in front of your eyes. I keep my virtual cockpit in the sport layout, which gives this huge rev counter setup with the speed in the middle, which looks like the freaking display from a Lamborghini and is only available on the S and RS models in the TT range. You can also switch to a small rev and speed counter setup in favor of having, for example, your navigation on the full display. Now, when you first get into the car, it takes a little bit of time to get used to all the new settings and things you can control with the new virtual cockpit, but once you get the hang of it in like 1 or 2 days, you never want to go back to a normal setup again. A feature that I really love is the MMI touch control setup, which means that you can search for songs, contacts, navigation, destination and even car settings by writing the letters which make up the word you want to look for. Other options worth noting are the automatic climate control with these awesome switches with electronic dials in them, the active lane assist, which turns the wheel at speeds over 80 kilometers per hour when it sees lane marking, and it turns the wheel by itself, so it really helps you on long motorway runs. The Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is absolutely superb, but I can't show you that because of copyright. The reverse camera, which shows up very big on the display and has very clear image and guiding for when you turn the wheels. And also really important are the blind spot sensors, because this car has 2 very huge blind spots. Now let's talk about the way this car drives. Now my car has the 6-speed double clutch S-tronic gearbox, and that works very good about 99% of the time. It has seamless shifts and makes a really nice noise when upshifting. However, when you are in manual control and you want to downshift very quickly, it can sometimes be hesitant in doing so. Now, like all S and RS Audi models, this car also has the Quattro permanent all-wheel drive system, which makes for very good all-weather capabilities and can send up to 100% of its power to the front or rear wheels, which can make for some good sliding action. The TTS also comes with Drive Select. Drive Select means that the car has 5 driving modes: efficiency, comfort, automatic, dynamic and individual. Efficiency is best used in city traffic as it helps cope with the horrendous fuel consumption that this car gets while sitting in horrendous city traffic. Comfort makes the car very quiet and pleasant to drive and soaks up bumps in the road pretty well, making long motorway drive something you can get used to. Automatic mode adjusts to your driving and whether your gearbox is in drive or sport mode, but it never fully commits to comfort or dynamic mode. Dynamic is best to be enjoyed on a quiet road. It stiffens the suspension, hardens the steering, makes the engine more responsive, puts the gearbox into sport mode and opens up the exhaust valves, making way more noise. And lastly, there's individual, which you can configure whatever way you like, so you can have the engine in sport and the suspension in comfort and the clutch rod to send all the power to the rear wheels. So thanks to the different driving modes, the car has a split personality. It can cruise along on the boulevards in the city in perfect comfort and quietness, or it can be very fast and loud on country roads. Here is where dynamic brings the car to life. It's so easy to drive this car very fast. It really stays flat through the corners. And the four-wheel drive is working all the time to make sure you have all the traction you need. Speed very quickly, and it's not long before you notice the rear spoiler coming up behind you. And lastly, while we are in dynamic and on this quiet country road and nobody is behind me, let's quickly demonstrate launch control. So you need to come to a stop, ESC Sport, left foot on the brake, wait for the boost to build. And the way you go, holy shit. Let's chill for a bit and talk about some of the not so good stuff on my car. The brakes. They have really good stopping power and there is really good feel through the pedal. However, if you push them too hard or if you go to the track like I have, you need to be prepared to change the brake pads and the brake lines, and that cost me about 450 euros. So you need to keep that in mind when you drive your TTS hard. Another thing is that on my passenger seat, this sort of plastic side bit came loose on the top here, as you can see, and Audi claims that this was not a production fault and that a human did this, so they won't replace it under warranty, which is absolutely great. Thank you very much. And lastly, the caliper writing on my car has started to fade away. Now let's talk about practicality. You might think that the TT is a 2+2 because Audi has fitted rear seats to the car. I think that Audi put the rear seats there just to demonstrate that Germans can have a sense of humor. There is no legroom, no headroom. It's best if you use them as storage space, and if you do that and fold them all the way down, the car has a total capacity of about 700 liters of luggage, and if you put them up so you have like two different storage areas, just the boot itself has about 300 liters of storage space. And otherwise the space for the two passengers that this car can handle is very good. Now let's talk about costs. Since I daily drive this car and it's my only car, most of my time is spent at the petrol station. So driving this car around town, you should expect to get anywhere between 9 and 12 liters per 100 kilometers, depending on how bad the traffic is. However, as soon as you put your foot down, that will jump to about 15 or 16. On the highway, at the highway speed limit of 130 kilometers per hour, my car managed to get 9 liters per 100 kilometers of fuel. So I don't know what Audi advertises in terms of highway mileage of 8 liters or 6 liters or whatever it is, because I'm not getting anywhere near that. Now I haven't had either of the services done yet because, well, my car still only has 11,000 kilometers. So I don't know the costs, but when I will know them, I will put an annotation to let you know what I paid for them. Lastly, tires. So my car's tires are 245/35 R19, and I expect a set of summer tires to be around 250 euros each. I don't know because I haven't looked into them. However, I have looked into winter tires for this car, and I have a set of Michelin Alpine Pilot, I don't know what you call them in English, and those cost me about 290 euros per piece. Now I've got this car brand new 7 months ago and it had 10 kilometers on the clock, Now I have 11,800 kilometers, and I can say that I've loved every single one of them, regardless of whether I was in traffic or if I was on track or on a mountain road or on the highway. This car has made me smile every single time I have gotten into it up to this point. And if I had the money to spend again, I would still buy this car, because I just like the way it looks, I like the way it sounds, I like the way it goes. Now, I know there may be some things that I haven't talked about that maybe you guys wanted to hear, so leave a comment down below and I will try to answer all of your questions. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up if you have, and make sure you are subscribed for all the adventures that me and my car are going to have in the future.